Knowing and growing.
Very ascended.
There's another thing that surprised me. You said several times during our conversations, if this is true.
Yeah.
As if you sometimes also wonder, or some things are so amazing that it's hard to accept them as a reality.
Knowing and growing.
Well, I keep myself, I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping at the position this is true. See, that's my way of keeping open. Because as we've seen, Ion doesn't stand for a position. They change their position. So even Ion could say, if this is true, what is happening here as we talk with you, if this is true, then these are the implications. So I can be very fanatic about how true it is, because for most people it is true. But the ongoing methodology is you don't get stopped at saying, oh, then now I know. You have, I like McLuhan's phrase, you have knowing and growing. Knowing and growing. Two processes. The mortar is what's growing. The word, the power of the word is what's knowing. Then they become interchangeable.
But lately you seem to be more relaxed.
On the radio?
No, in general.
Well, how, you mean like last month or last year? You know,
Since you took the break.
Well, there's been no demonstration of that on the radio. How would you know?
In the way you talk.
Very ascended. Yeah, but that's you talking to the personal Bob. That's not radio Bob. There's no evidence of radio Bob being relaxed, is there? I haven't been on the radio. So I think you mean something different. So no, that's you meeting the relaxed Bob. I've always been relaxed. Personally, privately. If this is true.
Yeah, your personal persona is really very different to the radio Bob.
Yeah. The radio Bob
The radio Bob I thought was Clint Eastwood, a cowboy.
Mexican cowboy.
But
like your relatives.
No, the real Bob is really human person. I don't know how to put it in words.
Oh, he's very knowing.
Knowing and growing.
Very knowing.
Very ascendant.
Yeah. Very ascended. And you know, even traditional ascension has been challenged by Ion and by the chip body. That's an important point. The chip body challenges all notions and traditions of ascension. That's what's the new part. And of course, none of that could ever have been expressed before because society's moved too slowly. Mortar moved too slowly. Now, mortar doesn't even exist more than a quantum second. So we can now acknowledge the endlessly unstable. The opportunity for the and part of in the phrase both and. The and. And it's interesting, the first academic book is called Frank Zappa and the And, A-N-D. And I think that the title is Paul Carr, a professor in Wales, who I spoke to a couple of weeks ago in London. I have to ask him a bit more about why he picked the phrase and, but that's pretty good. Frank Zappa and the And. An android, you know, both and. The and is the extra part, the unforeseen part. So when you meet me in the flesh, you're meeting the and. The and. Next point. No, you're making good observations. Useful.
What would you say are the main difference in where you are now and before the drops? What do you see in yourself?
Well, before the drops, I knew. Now I don't know, and it's a better situation. But it's only because the knowing has been confirmed with the drops and our cold fusion battery. And I like talking about the cold fusion battery because those people in the cold fusion community that James Martinez likes to talk about, they have no belief in what I'm saying. They have no context, and they would never believe. They would never believe.
Noises.
Yeah, they would never believe that we have what we say we have, but I know we have it, and that's what's the big surprise that's coming. All these people are going to do a double take. That's why it was good to do that Ginny interview a few weeks ago on the update of Ruby's interview on coldfusionnow.org.
You are in the knowing of many things going on.
Yes, I am.
The story with the people that went in that plane that disappeared.
The AIDS researchers, the top 25 experts. That's why Einstein says I'm the smartest person on the planet. Smartest means that you're the most up-to-date, most informed on what is actually happening.
Wow, we have here a composition of noise.
This is brought to you. This is your background composition. Where are they coming from? So if you know, then you're not emphasizing the don't know. If you don't know, then you're really emphasizing knowing. Knowing and growing. See, with the drop, that's what's very good about the drops, is that they activate the and factor in life, in being, in existence, in your body. The and factor is why the ascended crave the I self. Makes you aware of what's more cognizant of the unforeseen and. The both is easy to get after a while. But
yeah,
the and factor.
Many people get on the drops because of their health problems.
Yeah.
But there's much more to the drops.
Yep.
Like we are all experiencing things that we cannot normally explain, anomalies.
You didn't even know were happening. Now you know they're happening, and your desire to explain them is minimal, but the real explanation is to keep using drops so that you can keep having these experiences, be aware of these experiences, which are ongoing.
Yeah, for example, for me, I heard Ian saying report to Bob, and I didn't because I thought it was a hallucination.
Right.
And then Bob called me.
That's right.
So it's like, what the fun?
What the fun is that? And so that's, I was responding to what was happening. I technically didn't know that you had those words said to you. And then, but my larger self knew.
For a week, I felt like eating salmon every day.
That's right, you got into the salmon, Nova Scotia salmon.
And today you say that's a phrase in Finnegan's Wake.
The movement of the salmon is a major motif, an image in Finnegan's Wake because it's cyclical, right? They get born and they swim away and then they come back and they have to go up the falls, right? They got to go upriver.
Here's another thing I've been noticing, being around you, there's a lot of messages on publicity, on numbers, and that are really like it's too much. It's a coincidence, but
it's the only thing that's happened. It's the only communication that's going on. You turn there, there's the 122. It was in the cab we got here. Yeah, I was being interviewed by you in the cab, and that.
Or in this very dark corner behind the club, we found this
the first
Church of Forgiveness
pamphlet. Made into a huge billboard kind of operation, hidden in the back alley.
Quit your job, you may die today.
Slack off, repent. The world may end tomorrow and you may die. That was the original pamphlet, and that was positioned years ago. It was an old, it looked like pretty old, put there decades ago, and somebody made a placard, a plastic billboard out of it, and that was sitting there behind the club. And we only found it because we wandered away from the club, right? We kind of went away into even more remote place. Yep, that was a good sign. Like I could go on all Slack and point out where that is, because you could describe to me the exact coordinates. You would be able to give the address and the alleyway and where it is in relation to which club, right? I should should write that out, and I'll post it on alt.slack. Maybe take a picture of it. Then say,
it's going to be inserted in the video.
Yeah. Bob Neverett. It's for Bob Neverett. Confirmed at the end was what he said it was.
Or for example, coming on here, we call a taxi and they are not answering the telephone, but a taxi driver comes to us and says, "Do you need a taxi? I'm starting my day." And it's like, okay, we call the taxi the Ionic way, but it's all the time like this.
Yes, it's always being solved. The tension, the contrast lasts not more than a minute. Everything's always being resolved.
And having anomalies when I'm around with you, I see your attitude is just relax, and it will be okay again in 1 minute or two.
Did we talk about, well, we got that on the record about the door. It happened again with your bike last night.
Yes.
Oh look, the bee went in the drink again. They love to drink my juice. Look at him, he's drowning in the Dobsy. So, yes, you had a lot of anomalies happen.
When you're around Bob.
And you learned how to solve them. You just step back, walk away for a second, then come back as if you're coming through another gateway.
Yeah, my cell phone broke down, and yesterday my computer wouldn't work.
Your what?
My computer.
Didn't work, and then it did. But last night your bike lock, you were stranded out in nowhere, and that would have been a problem if you couldn't unlock your bike. But you recognized, oh, I've gone to another place, the key doesn't work. I step back into another world.
What will Bob do?
if there was a problem here, I'd just go over here, then I'd come back, then I'd be in the other place where the lock would work.
And it worked. So what is the strangest, weirdest thing that has happened to you since you are in this Iondom?
Well, Iondom itself is the strangest thing. You know, that's the biggest anomaly, is the ongoing phenomenon with Ion. But within it, there have been so many of things. So what would be Hello. Hello. That was it. That was the strangest thing I've ever seen. This guy runs over. He's got a pink shirt on. And no, it's impossible to think any particular anomaly because they're happening all the time. There were some. What was the strangest one was seeing the
like
recent was the
interaction with people from parallel worlds.
Yes, but one of the strangest ones in Berlin was meeting the owner of the Kit Kat Club. That guy, ooh, is he an archetypal stereotype?
Vampire.
I don't want to say in public what he is, but that was interesting. There was one of the neatest anomalies was meeting your friend, acquaintance from the party where you were given the orders to report to Bob, and he shows up in the middle of Mr. Hilter's airport for the little dancing scene. He's right there. He came back at the right time. That was a pretty good anomaly, right? Or
yes.
coincidence, and he recognized you, and he remembered the impression you had given off, and then we told him what was up. But like every man, he didn't stay with it. He didn't pursue the meaning of the anomaly, the direction that was indicated. The woman did. His woman friend got the name of the website. You see, that's what's interesting, right? The men are adopting the position, well, it's going to happen with or without me, so why even bother show up? So they check out. The women don't check out. They keep paying attention. Because they might be called forth to be a factor of not being without you. Might require you.
Sometimes I have the impression you know things about us that we don't know.
Who knows?
You.
Oh, well, I know things that you don't know. Well, and really that's basically confidence on what's happened. You guys don't know if Coldplay is, you haven't experienced, you have no indication of what it is.
Or things that we do that might affect in some way, like the wings of a butterfly that affects the weather. Something we do when we're on the drops affects this new environment.
There's an ecology there. I know, but those that are paying attention and don't know, they will know at the right time, and their response when they find out will be part of moving it forward. So you will find out and know at the correct time, and what you do in response will be a part of the chaos butterfly. See, that's the role of delay, time delay. The delay is an ecological interaction. If everybody all knew at the same time, then there's no sense of direction, no sense of change. So that's why you have to stay attentive. And that's where you get most of the INETs who show up on payday every week are aware of that. They know they have to show up because something is going to be relevant to their causative factor, to their chaos butterfly effect. You see, look, you're not drinking this. Shall I drink it? How's the time? Are we okay? They're very ascended.